Welcome to this video. In this video, we'll be talking about Linux command on our Raspberry Pi. If you are already familiar with the Linux command and you know how to use them, then you can skip this video and you can go to the next one. Now we'll cover the basics of Linux command, and we'll be going through some of these commands, and we'll practice it and see how we can master those commands, which should be very simple. Now, the website we will use to guide us is raspberrypi.org. So many websites that can explain to you Linux command. It's well supported, and you will find many. Just to go to any search engine and say Linux command, and you will find it. And it's important that you start using a search engine, because later when you install some software and do some advanced things, you need to refer back to some of the code and guides from other users. And you should also contribute to the community by explaining how you fixed any issue that you faced and what sort of process you did follow. Now, when you go to the Raspberry Pi website, if you click on help, then you get to this page where if you scroll down, you'll find later Linux. And if you click here, you will find those basic commands of Linux related to the file system, related to the usage, and all the other. And some you can drill down and you get more information if you want. Like, for example, file system, you click on it, you start getting into more details about file system. Okay. Now the commands we will be working with, and let's just go to the commands and focus on the basic commands. Linux is a case sensitive, although it's written here ls with upper L, upper S. If you use it here, it will not work. If you say ls, you will get an error saying, oh, command not found, because the right command is ls. And ls stands for list. So if I do ls, it will list for me all the files that I have in my system. Now, if this is the first time you're opening the command, let me close it and reopen it again and type ls, you get different files from the files I saw before. Why? Because it depends on the location where you are. So ls is for listing files. And there is also something called cd, and cd is for change directory. Now, if I want to go to the main directory, the root directory in Linux, I can use cd space and slash like this. So if you do this, it takes me up now to the root directory. If I do ls, I get different files. The root directory is the highest level in your operating system, where all other directories or folders or files are below that directory. So cd space slash, it takes you to the upper directory. Now, if I want to go inside any of these directories, we'll talk about them a little bit. We'll spend some time talking about those different folders. But you can see here, some of them blue, some of them green, and some of them later you will see white. Why? Because they are different. The blue one is if that's a blue color, I don't know what that color is, but if the blue one is meant this is a folder or a directory, and the green, it means it's a file which open to everyone to access. Now, ls has some options. If I use -l with ls, I get more details. They are still the same files and folders, but each file has some additional information. Like the first One is about the permission. The permission means who can access this file and who cannot, so who can access this file, and what they can do if they access the file. Can they read, write, and execute, or they can only read, or they can only write or and read or execute. Whatever this combination of read, write, that's something we need to talk about it later, and we will see how we can change that permission, allow the file. Now, those files that are folders, they start by D. D means directory. So anything start by D is a directory. Everything is a directory, including our temp also is a directory. But this is seem to be open to everyone. I can tell from those. See, the R for read, W for write, X for execute. And there are 3 groups of them. This is one group, read, write, execute. Another group, read, write, execute. And the third group, read, write, execute. Why? Because there are different levels. There is something called the owner of the file, the one who created the file, and the one who created the file here is root. Yeah, the root. Username is root, the one who created the file. We'll talk about root. So the first 3 for the owner, which root here, yeah? The second 3 for the group that the owner belongs to. So owner can be within a group or multiple group. So for that group, for example, a group called developers, group called administrator, a group called testers, whatever, those different group, what right they have. Every member in that group, and that's for the group, okay? And the third one is for everyone else, okay? That means open to the web. Anyone coming from the web can access that file. You need to be careful with files that has all different access. We will see later how we can change that. So this is the first detail, is the permission. Then comes the users and size of the file, the date, and the file name. That's one. There is another ls minus a. This one will give us what? Now, in our files, there are files start by dot. And if I use ls minus a, those files start by dot, they will appear. If I do ls, see the difference? I'm not getting these files, dot, dot, and dot. They're not appearing in my list. But ls minus a gives me those files which I need to do. So now we are familiar with ls. Now cd, let's do more practice with cd. So we know cd means changing directory. If I do cd and press only enter, it takes me to my directory. As a user on this system, I have an account, I have a username, so I have my own directory there. So cd only and enter will take me to my directory. If I do ls, these are my own files, belong only to me as a user. So if I create another user for Ahmad or Zaid or John or who else, he or she will have their own, each one they will have their own files, and then they can store their files, they install their own software, whatever they want to do. So cd only, it takes me there. If I want to go back to the root, cd-root. Now I am in the root, and let's discuss those files. The first folder is bin where we have the binary commands, means the executable commands that are core to Linux operating system. So if I go inside bin, cd bin, and notice when I go inside a lower folder, I don't need to use slash. So I cannot do this. If I do this, I'm assuming I'm going to the root and then coming down. Now for this file, because it's just below the root, it will work. But later when we go deeper into our files, it will not work. So I need just the folder name. No, the lower level folder, you just say cd and you go inside the folder. So you go inside the bin and do ls. These are the files there. And you will find most of the command that we are using are in this list. You will find them here, part of this list. So these are the basics command, like ls, it's there, change directory is there somewhere, change cd and copy, we'll talk about it later. These are all part of the main Linux commands, and this is why they appear in here. So the bin has those main commands are stored into the bin. So you don't touch the bin, don't create any files in it or anything, because it's meant for that purpose. You noticed what I did when I was inside bin without even thinking. Now I am inside bin. I want to go one step up. Yeah, I can do cd 2 dots. cd 2 dots takes me one step up. So I went one step up and back to the root. Now because I just came one step down, when I use cd 2 dots, I go one step up. If I am inside bin, I have these two options, either cd 2 dots or I can cd go to the root, and this way will take me to the same location. Okay. Now the next one I just will talk about it is home. Leave all the others, we will discuss them later hopefully. But the one for sure, the etc will be using a lot later in the future, and var will be using, all of them will be using. But let's just focus on the home. Home is where you have all the users. I said for each user there is a directory there for where he or she has files. Home has those users. So I have cd home. Now I am inside home. So notice there is only one user there called pi. So I'm going inside that pi. Now I am inside home, inside pi, isn't it? Now how I can go up where I am? There's something called present working directory, PWC, present working directory. Means if you are lost, you don't know which folder you are sitting in or directory, and you don't know where is it. So you just say present working directory, it will write down for you where you are. So you are in under home, under pi. Now because I am in pi, which my directory, I can start now creating my own folders. So I can use make directory, mk directory, and I start creating my own folders. See, for example, maybe I want to go inside documents, so I can cd, and again it's a case sensitive. I would do lowercase, it will not work. So document, and one good thing with Linux, if you just start writing a command and then you press tab, it will complete it for you. So I am going now inside document. So I am there. So I am present working directory. I am in home, in pi, in documents. Now I want to create a directory there, a new one. I call it work, something related to my work. So mkdir. Now I'll face a problem now when I do that, but let's see it ourselves. So mkdir, I'll call it work, yeah, or make it lowercase just to simplify things. If I do this, now that folder has been created for me. And if I say ls, you can see that folder. Now I go inside cd work, so I am now inside work, and ls will show me there are no files there. Present working directory will give me the full path. So this, they call it full path, starting from the root, going into home, going into pi, going into documents, and then in work. So this is the full path to my file. So I am inside work now. Now, before we go to the next one, which copy, let's use a text editor and create just a simple file. Okay, so I use Nano. Nano is a text editor, and I will call this one sample.txt. Okay, I press that. I'll get a text editor. I can say welcome, welcome to my sample file, and write anything else I would like to write. That's the basic text editor. To store or save the file, I need Command O. Then store, Command S, exit. Now if I do ls, I'll see the file there. So I have a file called sample.txt, and I can display its content by using cat and sample.txt, and you will see the text will come down. I can again open it using Nano. Now you notice all the commands that we wrote so far are available here, and you just move your arrow up, arrow down, you will find those commands. So if I go back here, Nano, and I come, I don't like this, so, and this file, write something else, we will discuss nothing. Okay, Control O, Control X, and that's it. So the file is there. Now assume I want to copy this file, create a new copy of it. So I can call, say, copy, and the file name, which sample.txt, and I'll call it sample2.txt. And I use the command copy. CP is copy, and you need the original file and the new file. Now this will copy the file in the same place, so we have it in the same place. I could have copied the file somewhere else. I could have copied it one step up, 2 dots like this. One step up means I could copy this file in documents. So these 2 dots here, slash, means go one step up and copy the file there. So if I do this, the file is copied there. How I know? I need to go one step up and say ls, I will find the file is there. Okay, I don't want the file there, I need to remove it. Say remove the file. Now if you want to remove a single file, then you can use my rm and then the file name, sample2.txt. Now when I do that, it will ask me a question. Do you want to copy or you don't want to copy? Cannot remove. Say sample.txt, no such files. I wrote it wrong maybe. Yeah, okay. It's sample.txt. Yeah, text. So now it's gone. It's deleted. Okay, and there's nothing there. If you do ls, you'll find nothing there. All the file is gone. I go inside work now, and let's look at this. Now I have these files. I want to rename this file. See the file samples2.txt. I need to rename it. So I can use move and move sample2.txt I'll make it sample2.txt. See, I just remove text. So now move is moving file from one place to other, but also it's renaming if you want to rename. Now if I want to move this file now to the upper level folder, let's look at our present working directory, and I want to move it to Pi, to the folder Pi, not to documents. Now how I do that? Move sample2.txt, and now I have multiple options. One option, I need to find the shortest one. One option is I go 2 steps up. So I am in docs now. 2 steps up, I am now in Pi, and then move the file there. I just put dot. This dot means move the file with the same name. Don't change the name. Just move it as it is. That's one option, and it will do that. The other option, I can go to the root home Pi /dot, and this way it will copy it from up down. Which one is shorter? We decide, and based on that you use. If they don't make any difference, use any one of the two. For me, I can see now this is maybe the shorter one. Is that the one? Okay, or maybe two dots /dot. Maybe this is shorter. And let's do this one. This one means now we will move it to Pi. So we do that. It's gone to Pi, because if you look here, it's not here. We want to go to Pi, cd, enter only, takes us to Pi, and then ls, you will find here is the file that we are dealing with. Okay, I think we have done well so far. The more command we can do, but these are the most important command that you need to know now, which we covered so far. We looked at the list with listing the file, cd, changing the directory, pwd, current working directory, make directory is one to create a directory, but if you want to remove a directory, use rm directory. You notice we use rm to remove a single file, but if you want to remove a directory, you need to use rm directory. And then we use copy, and we use to move the file. The rest you can learn them later on your own. But this one important I want you to know is the sudo. Basically, sudo makes you a super user. If you want to install software, you need to be the administrator, isn't it? By using sudo before your command, this command will be executed as the root user. Now, I was able to create directories, everything inside my own folder. But if I go another place in the operating system, I will not be able to do it because it's not my own folder. So in that case, if I want to do it, I use sudo, because I'm the administrator who install it. I have access to sudo, and sudo makes me the administrator and does the command I want to do. So sudo mkdir means create the folder as a super user. I want you to see one thing now. If ls-l, look at now the files we have here. These are our files. This one created using the Pi as a user. But if samples, if I create a folder and say sudo mkdir, okay, and call it test, I'm creating a folder now using sudo. So do that. It's created. ls-l. You see that folder which I created, which I did call it test, created using the root user, who is the administrator, not Pi. Any command that you run and you have sudo before, it will be executed using the root user or super user. And super user will do the action for you. sudo super user will do the action for you. I think we covered the basics, and thank you for watching. I wish you all the best.